You're watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. A $10 super chat from Justin M to get things going. I like the Mike Zimmer hire, but the Cowboys have to actually want to get better. Can't just run it back with the same team and expect him to fix everything. I completely agree. On both defense and not quite Zimmer related, on offense as well. You need to invest a little bit more. Do some better results, both coaching and player-wise, or else the results are going to be the same. So I completely agree there. From Not Jeremy Chuggs' burner, I think the run scheme would have worked better with a running back who could wear down the D. Bonk. It seems like Pollard couldn't do it. I think that certainly could be a possible outcome there. Where if you had a bigger battering ram runner, the results would have been, I think it's still more marginally better. My issue here is this. Why were you doing a run scheme that didn't fit Pollard, right? You kept trying to do this inside, I called it tight zone, up the middle stuff that I would argue wasn't really your strength. I think there was some self-scouting flaws. They did some fun like Shanahan toss zone stuff and then stopped it. Why? It didn't really make any sense to me. If I think a better running back and a better scheme would have helped either way. If I have to change one, though, I'd rather change the scheme. Lawrence Jewell, how do you feel about how vocal Parsons has been? I don't hate it. I think there are times it's like, just log off, Micah, please. There are moments of like, he's chronically online, as many in this generation are. And there are cons that come with that. I think Bart Scott's comments got a little bit personal. But it also does, Scott was also kind of right. It doesn't matter whatever you're saying online all offseason if the end regular season, postseason results are the same. Then it's just kind of talk for talk's sake, and it will rub people the wrong way. From Cody, how about a trade for Jaire Alexander? I wouldn't be mad at it. Alexander kind of had a weird thing with Green Bay this year where he got suspended for going rogue and not getting and not doing the coin toss right. It was all very strange. I could see him being shopped. I think the presence of Diggs and Bland, if they're going to plan long term for Bland, make it a bit unlikely they go after him. But it'd be a fun, aggressive move. Wouldn't be mad at it. Cowboys made some trades last year: Brandon Cooks and Stephon Gilmore. Will they make a trade this offseason? Y for yes, N for no. Sound off in the comments, the pinned comment of today's video. You know what that is by now. The ad comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Not Jeremy Chuggs burner. Who's a tackle with some good length we can get at 24? I don't know if Amarius Mims is going to fall to you, but that checks off the mold of, now he played right tackle at Georgia. I think could play on the left side in the NFL. I think Fuaga and Latham are maybe more right tackle only options, maybe some guard mixed in there. Maybe Tyler Guyton could play the left side for you as well. And then you could always take one of those kind of Barton JPJ guys and play him in there at center. Joseph Ian Torres about the DT from Miami, Leonard Taylor, not in the early rounds. I get a little wary of early round picks when it's former 5-star or highly touted recruit. Didn't produce that much at a big program. That's a big red flag for me. I could take him on day 3, sure, but all that early round 1 buzz this summer was if he breaks out. He did not have that breakout season. Chris B, if we go all in, I think it's a trade than free agency, to be honest. I still think all in for Jerry meant we're going to re-sign some of our own guys like Lamb and others. I have to believe, I have to see them going all in and doing more than the bargain bin shopping of we traded day 3 picks for a solid player or we got the vet minimum, depth piece. I need to see that happen. And not just we signed one guy. Honestly, spending $5 million fully guaranteed for 1 year on a linebacker is so doable, so easy, so logical, and would represent a significant change from what they've done in recent free agency classes. So I want to see that stuff happen and more. Until it does, I will not be believing in this all-in talk. Now, today's Cowboys Report is made possible by Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. I love Prize Picks. It's just you against the numbers. Can mix and match sports. There's obviously no more NFL, but there's NBA, college basketball. You can do NASCAR. You can do esports. You can do golf. You can do everything else in between. The reboot policy, really valuable for the NBA, keeps your picks in play in the event of injury. And the flex play, always do the flex play unless you're capitalizing on some, boost or bonus they're offering. The flex play means you can still get a pick wrong and have your overall Prize Pick slate still hit. That way you can go 2 out of 3, 3 out of 4, whatever. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for the first deposit match up to $100. Links in the comments and the description of today's show. Leroy Pearson Jr. How far would you trade in the first round? And trade out of the first round, how far would you go into the second round? Depends on how the board falls. Like if there's only one guy that I really have a first round grid, I'm probably not going to trade down if the guy fits a need for me. If there's a bunch of guys all in the same range at similar needs, I can slide down out of the first round. I don't want to slide that far down. I'd like to keep my first round pick and have that, fifth year option bonus if I need it. Plus some of the needs start to overlap with you and some other late round teams. But if the Chiefs come calling and give me another day 2 pick or a couple day 3 selections, sure, I could slide in a few spots. I also don't want to miss out on my guy. And that's typically why you don't see as many trade ups and trade downs in the actual draft. Chris B, yacht needs to be docked or it's the same shit. The yacht boys only work in the drafts. Everything else, they spend too much time on vacation. Roy Williams, cut Gallup and signed Marquise Brown. I know he had a down year, but Murray came back second half of the year, and he can bring this team speed. Good logic. My concern here is that Marquise Brown will cost you too much money. The receiver market is not very good. The free agency class for now has guys like T. Higgins and Michael Pittman, etc. They're going to get tagged. They're not going to go anywhere. So then it becomes like Marquise Brown, maybe Calvin Ridley, kind of doubt it, and Gabe Davis. At that point, it's like, ooh, Marquise Brown, you're the best available piece by a pretty good margin. And that's how players get overpaid. And this team doesn't want to ever win bidding wars. From Andrew, will Zim go after a better safety, Winfield or McKinney or something? Wouldn't be shocked if Antoine Winfield got franchise tagged. Safety is going to be interesting to me. You have invested already in Malik Hooker and Donovan Wilson. You have depth in Marquise Bell and Wanye Thomas. I think you could survive with those 4 guys and or another, lower level addition. I also wouldn't be mad if they got aggressive at that spot. I'm not going to get my hopes up for it because this team has never really valued things. This is the most they valued safety since the Darren Woodson era, it feels like. And they paid Sensabaugh and Hamlin a little bit, but that wasn't really the same level of investment as far as I'm concerned, relatively speaking. So I wouldn't be mad at it. I feel like they're going to focus on linebacker more so, though. So name a player you want to sign in 2024 NFL free agency. Sound off in the comments section. Matt Hervey, are we going to see a Trey Lance preseason? Oh, yeah, we are. It is going to be you're not going to see any Dak. You'll see some Cooper Rush, and it's going to be Trey Lance. Let's see what you got for ourselves and for others and for yourself. And it will be a very important preseason for Lance to see if he can become a backup QB or if it's like this is just not going to work and you're not going to get a second contract from us. Josephian Torres, who would be your top 2 linebackers to draft if available in this year's class? Edrin Cooper out of A&M is the number 1 guy for me. Now, this stuff can change, and I'm sure it will change post-combine. Linebacker 2 can go a lot of different directions. From a pure talent perspective, it's Peyton Wilson out of NC State. The issue is he's got massive medical concerns. Talking about double-digit surgeries already. I get scared of those guys. The Cowboys aren't, but I get scared of them. Then it's, if you ignore the helmets, I think Junior Colson fits what this team wants to have at linebacker. It fits what you guys want the thumper and cover a little bit. Jeremiah Trotter's not a bad prospect either. I'm a bit worried about the overall athletic juice, and it shows up in coverage, but he can be a good player for you. I think some order, beyond Cooper, those guys stand out. Now, don't miss any Dallas Cowboys news and rumors right here on the channel. Hit that sub button, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Leroy Pearson Jr. Is there anyone for the practice squad who has a real chance of making the team? Ooh, it's a good question. Brock Hoffman did it last year. Looking at the list here, I could see like a Josh Butler or Princeton Fant emerging for mostly special team stuff. One of those running backs, Snoop Connor, Malik Davis, as now have a decent chance. Maybe Earl Bostic takes a step forward as growth, and maybe one of your receivers. McMath offers you special team stuff. Martavis Bryant is back for an offseason. It's new for him. And then don't sleep on Jalen Cropper. We all liked him a decent amount last year. Maybe he could end up emerging. Chris B., I kind of want to take care of linebacker in free agency so I don't have to force one in the draft. I would agree. I would like to kind of, to a certain extent, fill all my needs. This is always the ideal plan, right? I want to add at least one offensive lineman or re-sign some guys. I want to add a corner or re-sign some guys. At running back, at linebacker, even maybe fill a receiver cheap option. That way, I can just go straight BPA. And if it's an offensive lineman, great. If a CD Lamb falls to you, even better. And I don't have to kind of force myself to, we need this position, and there's a run on guys that has happened, so we're going to reach for Luke Schoonmaker in round 2. I don't want that to happen again. Max, is Mike Zimmer fair to be the 2025 head coach? Maybe. I could see that happening. I wouldn't be overly shocked by it. The Joneses would feel comfortable. It'd fit their veteran coaching option. I would be pretty damn disappointed because there are young offensive guys I think could be better for you and some other former head coaches too. But I wouldn't be that surprised by it either. Who do you think will coach the Cowboys in 2025? Head coach, of course. Sound off for me in the comments section right now. Lance Dunbar's burner, is it too early to lock up Brandon Aubrey? Yes, it actually is too early. Brandon Aubrey is under team control for 2 more years at basically the vet minimum before he can become a free agent. You are paying Brandon Aubrey basically the minimum that you can over the next 2 years, and then he becomes extension eligible because he wasn't playing. He counted as a rookie from their wage scale perspective. So it is too early because you literally can't do it yet. Last one from Matt Hervey. Thoughts on Marshawn Lloyd from USC? 3rd round, maybe 4th round makes more sense. I'm interested there. South Carolina, actually, I guess the USC works for both. South Carolina to Southern California. Good football player. I'm curious how he tests. I don't know if he's going to be a true burner. That's okay. He's got some good size as far as I'm concerned. That early day 3 range, I think would be a really solid pick for the Cowboys if he ends up getting there. If you pass on guys like, Brooks coming off the ACL from Texas and Trey Benson, etc., Lloyd can be a really good, air quotes, settling